You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the December 8th meeting for the Kingsford Heights Town Council. You can find more information for this meeting by visiting www.accesslaportecounty.org.
Departmental reports. Police Department.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I know at the last meeting, we had an opportunity to discuss potentially purchasing a radio for the police department out of the cigarette tax fund. However, since that time, and speaking with the clerk's office, I've learned that there's a possible alternative way to get 2 radios, and I would like to bring that to your attention. I understand that in the public safety lit fund, there's enough money to purchase 2 radios, and I wanted to see if the council would reconsider visiting that topic tonight.
And totally take it away from CCIF money.
And how much are the phones?
Radios.
The radios, for 2 radios, the entire quote for the radios, the programming, the batteries, and the chargers, 2 of them would be $13,963.96.
Is that with the?
That's with the $750
That's with the
trade-in.
rebate?
Yes, ma'am.
And the 1st of January, they go up another 10%?
December 22nd.
December 22nd.
That also includes a 7-year warranty on hardware and software for each radio.
And if we don't buy 2 now, we're gonna have to buy a second one next year because the other ones are obsolete anyway.
Yep.
And you agree there's money in LIT public safety?
Yes.
Okay, as in you wanna make a motion?
I'll make them out of what?
LIT public safety. Right down here, I'll go with 2240 on the second page. No. On the second page. 2240.
Public safety.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we authorize the police department to use the public safety funds to buy 2 radios.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor? Aye. Unanimous.
With that, they sent over a copy of a purchase agreement for what I would have to sign whether we bought 1 or 2. Because that's such a high dollar amount, is that something that as council president, I would have you sign or I would sign?
I think you could sign it because she's gonna have it in minutes. But if they want someone else to sign it, let me know.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't overstepping.
Another
my authority.
thing, if we don't get the check issued for it, does he need a purchase, well, get a purchase order because we may have to encumber it to carry it forward as a this year's expenditure, but dispersed in 2026.
Okay,
So it has to be covered by a purchase order.
and would that be the same as saying a net 30?
Net 30 days? Well,
Yes.
that's gonna go into January, so.
Is that okay? That's how they've got it
Net
worded?
30 days is fine, but we
Okay.
do have to get it encumbered.
Okay,
Because it's a 2025 expense that we'll pay in 2026.
okay. In other news, to get our equipment back up to par, the prosecutor's office has graciously purchased us a new radar unit. So all of our patrol vehicles will now have a speed monitoring device.
Very nice.
Their radar unit is valued at approximately $5,000, and they've paid to have that shipped. We should receive it within the next few weeks.
Okay, that's very nice.
Other than that, to the best of my knowledge, there's nothing else going on.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is there anybody here from the fire department? Randy, utilities.
For the water department, the rehab on the wells is going along. They're on the second well. That screen was reduced down to a 40% capacity. So they're currently rebuilding and working on getting that screen cleaned. At the water tower, the generator was installed. It has not been wired in yet, and the propane tank has not been delivered yet.
Are we required to spend all that money before the end of December or just have it allotted for?
I will call the people tomorrow and confirm on that answer.
Okay. Thank you.
But that's all I really have. There is one thing. Last meeting, you guys were talking about pay raises. I just want to remind the council that Nick is through the apprenticeship program, and Alliance pretty much controls his wages. So he should be not part of the pay raise process.
That's part of the apprenticeship program. Okay.
That's all I have.
Park department.
I wanted to share, these documents went downstate. It's our 5-year plan. This is the draft copy. So once it goes down as a draft, then they look it over. And then if there's anything to be added or changed, they will let us know. But it kind of sets the vision of the park, what we'd like to see happen, the grants we'd like to try to go after. Well, we can't, of course, go after them until April, after this is finalized. But I just wanted to kind of bring you up to speed as to what did get filed as the draft copy for the parks. And then, to summarize, I think on the back page, it really just explains like some of the things that the community wanted, like splash pads. They'd like to see our baseball diamonds redone. We have that gravel dirt, and so the adult leagues don't really like to play on our fields because they're hard for sliding, ouch. And we'd like to really do a really nice concession stand that has a concession and bathrooms and the pavilion all in one. But again, this is just the draft copy. We'd have to get grant funds, but kind of helps you know what our vision is for our parks. And of course, first and foremost, our most important thing is to get ADA compliant with all of our parks. Recognizing that Kingsford Heights Parks is actually this area, including the woods. One of the things that a lot of the people wants to see is lighted walking trails. So that's one of the things we would like to see in the Kingsford Heights Parks wooded area. But again, that's kind of a vision, and we'd like to see Ford Park renovated in its entirety.
Well, the school has a walking trail in the park, and it's gonna have one back there too, so why do we need 2 or 3 walking paths?
Well, the idea is that our walking trail would be lighted, and it would be very, it's a nice addition to our parks. When people are watching their kids play ball or their kids are practicing, parents want to go walking. A lot of the softball fields have a walking trail around the softball diamond. So, but that's where we're hoping to go, and again, that would be grant funding. But I just wanted you to kind of know what was set down.
And you said this is a draft.
That's the draft. So then the IDNR will come back with information as far as what needs to be updated, what needs to be changed to make it a finalized copy. And that will happen, then we have to resubmit before April. Okay?
Okay.
Then also we wanted to talk about the appropriations in our park board budget, because the way it was before, we had promotions with just $500. We would like to kind of move the money, the line items around if that's possible. For like operating supplies before was like $4,100, but we only spent $35 out of that. Like you said last time, we were in the red in some areas, and so we would like to maybe move things around. Sorry, I should have made more copies of that one. This is what it is now, and this is what we would like to see it be moved to.
I'll give this to Malika, but it can be done by resolution after February when the state approves the budget.
Okay.
We'll see what they approve for the overall dollars, but then anything can be moved around by resolution as long as you stay within
That amount.
that amount.
Okay, okay, good, great. And then last but not least, we would really like to do, I know you said we had about $5,900 in our budget. And so we would like to have a community dinner. I've taken the time to really get prices for about 150 people. We've had people sign up that are gonna come to the dinner. So we were expecting about 150 people would be safe to say. To have it totally catered would be about $1,284. That would be chicken, 300 pieces of chicken from Pa's Chicken Coop, Italian sausage and peppers, macaroni and cheese, mashed potatoes and gravy, corn, green beans, and coleslaw. And that would be delivery and setup.
Okay, unless I'm wrong, I don't think you can use tax money for a general meal. You get to use it for your promotions, for your kids' Easter egg and Halloween food, but you can't have a general meal with your tax money. That's why you need, and it's on the agenda tonight, to get that park donation. When we had the dinners
So, okay.
before, you know, like one church would donate ham, one
Yeah.
church would donate turkeys, people would donate desserts.
But can we use the funds from our having rented the community center? Can we use community center
They can use
funds?
the unappropriated community center operating funds.
So long as that's a permissible use in the ordinance,
I
yes.
believe it is.
Yeah, so long as it's in the ordinance, then it
We'd
then
have
it
to-
would be permissible.
I'm pretty sure it is. That's an old ordinance.
Yeah.
Because even all year long, I know we have
Where are you
over,
depositing the money for the rentals?
It's going into a rental account. It's separate. For donations. I did believe it's on there, donations.
Community center operating fund?
I don't even think it's on that. I think it's on donations. But I would ask Laura to be perfectly honest.
I don't see a donation fund.
yeah, I thought we were setting one up because we didn't have one.
The donation fund is on tonight, but I thought there was a rental fund set up by ordinance.
Yeah, because there is an
A
ordinance for it.
community, yeah.
It's, I think, for them to do it for like $100 or something like
Yeah.
that, but
Put all your
I see a
rentals in.
deposit fund, unless that just needed to be renamed.
I believe it's
Is
a
it
combination.
2502?
I believe it's
Yeah.
a combination of deposit and donations in that one.
Deposits and rentals?
Mm-hmm.
are you guys not reaching out to like Victory City Grill?
I
and-
did. Victory City Grill is not willing to, they're not able at this time to even prepare food. They're just, times are hard even for businesses. And I didn't, not Victory City, I reached out to Renee's. I'm sorry,
Okay,
I
yeah.
misspoke. I reached out to Renee's. And
She
they're
couldn't
just
even
not,
purchase a ham and cook it for us?
they were not able to participate.
Yeah, because that's how the Christmas dinners have always been paid for, by people that donated food and.
They
And we-
started getting donations
Yeah.
about the 1st of September.
And we understand. I guess what we were hoping though is to read, so one of the things, if you, as you get a chance to read that 5-year plan, the community is asking for every month for there to be some kind of community event. And so considering that there are monies left over in our budget, considering that we have really rented the community center, we are hoping that this is a community event, not something for sale, not, we're hoping you come, have Christmas dinner. The price of admission is to bring a wrapped new toy and/or a donation. It's not designed to sell food, because in this day and age, you can't really buy, or you can't purchase enough food and sell enough food to not be in the red. Because even if you purchased a ham, that's gonna feed 5 people. You'd have to have a lot of people buying ham and cooking a ham. And then, our kitchen is not up to snuff right now. We're in the process of getting things inspected and all of that stuff, and so we were trying not to actually even come across those issues, and we definitely don't want people just cooking willy-nilly in their homes. I mean, we were hoping to make it nice.
Well, that's when you're gonna have to reach out to churches, all the churches, and ask them if they'll donate food.
So can we make a vote on whether or not we can do the 1284? We have the food covered, it's just a matter of whether or not you would make a motion and agree to spend the money. I know when I asked last time, I'm sorry, the 2 gentlemen aren't here, but I said, can we spend the money? They said, yes, hurry. And so
But it can't come out of tax
No,
money.
I
Come on,
understand, I
taxpayers'
understand.
money.
But I mean, so we're presenting it and hoping that it's something we can do.
So who's catering?
I said, you didn't hear me? It was
Oh, I did, I'm
Paul's-
sorry.
Paul's Chicken Coop.
Oh, okay. No, I did not hear you say that.
The total would be $12.84.
Do you know what you've taken in for rentals this year?
Right now, we have 24.75. Well, 25.25. I'm sorry, 25.25.
And that money can be used for that?
As long as it says it in the ordinance. I don't have the ordinance.
I think the ordinance said it can be used to support this building, so it depends on, it was pretty broad. It wasn't specific.
Yeah, as long as it's broad enough that it can be interpreted that way, then you should be fine.
Some of the churches have had their own dinners, potluck dinners, so I know like Lighthouse Assembly just had theirs where they did the chicken and people brought in food. And again, this is just kind of tough times, and so,
Right.
I mean, again, we were hoping to make it nice year-end celebration. It's a community gathering. But it would require a vote from the council.
That's, if you guys want to, somebody make a motion. I'll vote, however it goes. So it has
And then
3
next year,
votes.
you're gonna work on doing a Christmas one where you'll get donations more?
So how would you want us to do it different?
Well, because you're gonna wipe out your funds almost right now by getting this year, and if you don't rent the building
I
out
don't
to
think we're
anyone.
gonna wipe out our funds. That's
What do you
less
think,
than half.
1,200? Well,
And we are getting more and more rentals, and I expect we'll have even more rentals next year.
Well, the way they did it in the past is,
And we understand.
they would
They
go to all
sold
the
it.
local stores and they would donate, it didn't cost the
And they
anything.
sold the food though. At this point though, if you
no,
have
they
a
charged
thought,
$2.50, and then that money went
Went
to
for
the
the toys and
toys.
stuff for the
They
kids.
didn't sell the food.
$2.50
For
per,
a meal, yeah, I mean, but they usually had the building pretty full, and they wound up getting quite a few toys donated.
so the thing is that I get it, I do. Like, and the way that it was done in the past is just different than the way we wanted to do it now. I mean, if you say we can't have a community dinner, we still have a way for toys to be donated. The community dinner isn't just for toys, it's a community dinner. So we're not asking you to help us come up with ways for toys. We're asking, can we have a community
So
dinner?
it's not a Christmas dinner where they're donating toys and
That,
you
they,
give
we
them
were
to
asking them to
people.
donate toys as the price of admission so that we're not charging, but that's not, like, right now, we really have, most of our kids already fully adopted, and we have other means for getting toys. That's just going to be extra and more toys. but it's not like, everything doesn't hinge on the community dinner for the
It
toy
always did in
donation.
the past.
And
so
it
that's
did,
what-
it
yeah.
did, and we are doing things differently, and it's working, but, so we're not asking you to help us figure out how to get toys, we're asking you, can we have a really nice Christmas dinner at a really reasonable price?
I don't. And what's gonna happen if you say you do food for 150 people and only 75 show up? Then what happens to all that food? I'm just asking.
Yeah, well, if 75 people showed up, then we'd have people would hopefully come and get seconds, and I really
Yeah,
don't
I
think
hope
that
they
food
would.
is going to go to waste. I mean, and that's very good hypothetical questions for sure, but it's just a matter of, we put out that we'd like to have it, and I know, Lori, you even put out on a post, if the park board had a Christmas dinner,
Yeah.
who would want to help, they would need help with mashed potatoes, da-da-da-da-da. Crickets. Nobody even answered, saying, yes, I'll help. Crickets. You asked.
I did.
And what did they say?
Yeah, I mean, from what
Did
I understand,
anybody
Debbie
say
Stout said
anything?
she would donate stuff. I know I was planning on donating a turkey if somebody wanted to cook it. I mean,
Yeah,
'cause
but see, that's our problem. We don't have facilities for cooking at. And if you're asking people to cook it in their homes, then it's just not as nice as it would be.
so our kitchen is not feasible at all to cook anything? What's wrong with it?
It has not recently been inspected, and it probably shouldn't be used for that.
Well, that kind of really puts a damper on things. So
Or in the
if you're
process,
gonna rent it out,
What
you can't
are
even.
people doing that rent it?
Yeah,
I don't think they're cooking. They're just had parties, refrigerators. But we're in the process of trying to get that up to date. That was one of the things that was brought to the attention of the council, that needs to be done. I'm not sure how they go about doing it, but it needs to be done. So, but, it's a $75 delivery and setup, and it would be fully catered and delicious.
Go see what Mark's question is.
Well, it's not a question as much as, I remember 20 years ago donating for Christmas dinner and coming and working it,
Yeah.
helping hand out food and such.
Yeah, that's past practices.
If-
I'm not
if-
being
Town
rude,
council
but
If-
usually do
yeah, the
that.
town council always
Yeah.
served it.
I'm not being rude, but I've gotta try to stick to what I said at the last meeting.
I understand.
Okay.
What did you say?
What I'm getting at, I guess, is
Public
if,
comment at the end.
Oh.
And
if you need help, we'll take care of it if you want to do it, if this doesn't work. To me, I can remember everybody coming at that time and being a big help in the community.
well, I can too, and that's what I said.
I feel like
It's a great idea.
We've worked really hard to rent this facility. I mean, Terry's here all the time, opening and closing it. I mean, we have, generated those funds, and we're, I think that's a good
I
thing.
understand all that, but it seems to me that planning a dinner for a Christmas dinner at the end of November or the first week in December is kind of counterproductive.
I
Because it
understand.
was too late to get people to help you.
But,
But
so
it
at
is,
this
but
point,
we were just trying to, I was talking with Terry and we were just trying to kind of get it going.
I know.
Thinking that people would jump in and say, okay, I'll donate
I know.
the green
But-
beans, I'll donate corn,
And
I'll
that didn't
donate this,
happen.
and
Do
it
you
didn't
happen.
remember
happen.
how they started planning this
I
in
do,
September
yes.
before?
It's always been, and they've gotten everything
and we
donated.
understand, and again, like
Okay.
you guys have
Just
elected
trying
us
to-
as,
All right,
as
Do
the
you
new
wanna-
park board,
Do you
but if
want
this,
to authorize community center operating funds for this?
That, as long as that's what everybody, if everyone's in agreement
Evelyn,
with
do you
it,
want
I'm
to?
okay with it. We gotta get something going somewhere,
I mean, we gotta make a
Yeah,
decision, we
yes.
can't talk about this all night.
no, we can't.
Okay.
All right, I'll make a motion that we use the
The operating
operating
funds or the rental funds?
rental funds.
Because it might be
to-
misnamed on here.
Okay, rental or operating funds to sponsor the, not Christmas dinner, but end of the year dinner.
Well, it's December 19th, so we're gonna decorate it as a
Community
Christmas
dinner.
dinner.
End of the
It's
year
community, yeah, okay.
And
Great.
then maybe next year it can be turned into gifts for the kids and
Are
extra
you
money for
seconding
it.
it?
Yeah, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Threes. Unanimous.
And then the last thing, thank you so much, I'm really excited about that. And then the last thing is that we I'm still not sure, because you're trying to limit spending to essential spending, so I wanted to make sure. There are a few things that we would like to spend out of the budget, like we'd like 10 new totes. They're on sale at Real King for $6.99 right now. That'd be about $69. If it's under that $500 rule, I didn't think we needed to ask you, but I wanted to make sure it wasn't any kerfuffle if I asked Ms. Malika to purchase it, and then it's like, well, who said she could do that? So I want to make sure we're all above board. It would be about $69 for the totes. We need about 10 of those. And then also, we did last year these Christmas bags for the Christmas toys. They're just big, ginormous bags, look like Santa sacks, and that's where the toys went in. They're about $2 at Dollar General. We have about 30 kids, and that's, again, about $60.
That could come out of their operating thing where they're taking the money for,
Yeah, that could come
Dinner.
out of the community
That
center
come
too.
yeah.
Okay.
And what kind of stuff are you storing?
Storing.
In the
Oh,
totes.
from our so we do the free clothing giveaway, and then after the free clothing giveaway is all done, everything gets torn down so that the building can be rented. So a lot of things are stored in totes and or transported, if it's after we go through things and we change season, we transport it to Goodwill. Of course we keep our totes, but it's just that's what we store.
Oh, that is not tax money. That's all community center funding.
Yeah, so they could come out of there too.
Yep. That is community center operating expenses. That's not park department
Okay.
funds,
Okay.
park department projects.
Right.
You might look at Dollar General, because I thought they had them for $5. The totes.
$5 the totes.
Not
Well,
the
we-
ones that she's.
Oh,
talking
not the one
Yeah.
she's talking, okay.
Because we
Okay.
kind of have the same kind, and they stack real nice because they're
Okay.
all the same size, and they were
But
$6.99.
you're right, we are under essential spending.
Yes.
And right now, it's the end of December and special things would need to be brought up.
So that's all we need. And then one last thing though is no, I think that's good. No, I think that's it. Thank you so much. So excited about the dinner.
Oh. Okay. Did you get a chance to look up the information I asked you about the CCI money?
Yes, I talked to someone today and she said that can be used for tech and it can really be used for a little bit of anything.
But she definitely said for anything that taxes can be used for?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When we had our special meeting, we authorized the cameras updates at a cost of $6,000 something?
I thought it was 48 for the cameras.
Maybe it
We
was.
did the 1 year.
We did the one-year contract, and we authorized it coming out of CCIF. And I got home, and I got thinking about it, and you know what they say about overthinking a situation. And I called Malika, and I said, I know that we can use the CCIF money for anything to do with this building, the parks, everything up around the town hall, the garages, because all that is town.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of thought for the 4 that was strictly at the sewage plant and the 4 that was strictly at the water plant, we might want to re-question that and pay for 4 of them out of sewage, 4 of them out of water, and the rest of them out of CCIF, to make sure that we're doing it, what could come out of taxable, what could be considered a taxable expense to come out of the CCIF, and what is a utility expense is coming out of the 2 utilities. So I was going to ask the council, which is us tonight, if we could redirect that expense to the utility, and the rest of it to CCIF.
Is there money in both?
Yeah, there was money when we were gonna divide
Okay,
it all the
okay,
other way anyway.
Okay, that's right, there was.
Do you understand what I just said? Would you like to approve it?
I make a motion and we approve it.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I made the motion.
I know. Minutes. November 24th. Did you get a chance to read these? Did you? Do we have to have a motion to table, or can I table minutes until the next meeting after everyone's had a chance to read them, because the guys aren't here?
I would make a motion to table, since it's formally on your agenda.
Because I wasn't at that meeting, so.
Oh, so you can't make a
I
motion
can't.
anyway?
Yeah.
All right,
It's gonna die
then,
anyhow. 'Cause you-
then,
Well, no, not
Well, then-
necessarily, because you would still have a vote.
well, but there's only, okay. I would suggest tabling these minutes. Would you like that idea?
Sure.
Okay,
I make a motion that we table to the next meeting.
I guess I'll second it, because Lori wasn't here. I guess we're both in favor, and Lori has 2-0 with an abstention. Does that carry a motion? Or does
Why
it?
not?
And then you need 3. Are you abstaining from it?
I wasn't here, so I didn't. I was
But
with
she
my
could be in
husband.
favor of the motion.
Yeah, it's just a
Oh,
motion.
yeah, okay. I'll be
Okay.
in favor
It's
of the
just a motion.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, that goes on our next agenda. Claims. Okay, where's the other part of it? The claim docket includes APV voucher number 16962 to 17011 in the amount of $165,343.43.
Everybody good?
Is this motion?
I make a motion that we adopt the appropriations
Pay the claims.
and to pay the claims.
I'll second the motion to pay the
Moved and
claims.
seconded to pay dispatch of claims. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. Okay. Clerk's report.
Okay. I'm gonna go over here and stand so that I can see you guys' face. Okay, I'm going to ask a question after I give a statement. I work during the summertime. I work doing barbecue. And I'm gonna ask you guys, if you were given the job of seasoning 200 pounds of meat in 2 hours, could you do it? Yes or no? Could
No.
you do it?
I wouldn't do it.
Could you do it?
Yeah, if I had to, I would.
Could you do it?
I wouldn't know until I tried.
Okay. So, I took on a job as the clerk treasurer. I had never been a clerk treasurer before. I took on a responsibility that had a table full of paper that I had no idea what it was. But I took the job because I wanted to do it for the town, and they needed somebody in there that could do the job. Now, I didn't tell you that I knew everything about the job, but I took the job because I wanted to help the town. I went in, and you, Rosalie, were working in the clerk's office. And I was told by a couple of people that it would be best for me to learn under you because you had done the job so much. But I really didn't want to do that. But I said, you know what? I can glean off of somebody if they can teach me. Well, as I was in the office, the same person that I thought that I could glean off of yelled while I was trying to learn the job. Well, once you yelled at me, that means that I've learned nothing from you because I don't learn that way. So, as I was going on with the job, you, Rosalie, were writing checks. You put checks in the computer. You put checks in the copy machine. It jammed. It messed up the checks. You went downstairs and got a typewriter and you typed checks. That's a mistake the State Board of Accounts will not consider a right thing to do. You didn't receipt when you were there. We have the facts to say that you didn't receipt. So, as I make this statement, the same things that you didn't know how to do, you condemn me for. I didn't have any training when I went in. And I went in, and I've done quite a bit of a good job since I've been in there. As I've been in there, when I first came in, the board had already established that they were bringing in Amston. They had already established that they were bringing in Baker Tilly. So when they brought in Amston, they didn't know what damage they were bringing in. When me and Laura went through Amston, it was the wrong decision to make. It took us 3 months to dig out of the situation with Amston. And we had to go back and put in information in Keystone just so Baker Tilly could do their job. So at this time, Baker Tilly couldn't train me to do anything, and they really weren't hired to train me to do anything at that time. They were hired to do the budget, not to train me at that time. So in the same instance, Brian was sitting in your seat. He came in and told me that the IRS, we owed so much money to the IRS for penalties because we hadn't paid our 941s. I wasn't here in 2016. I wasn't here in 2019. I wasn't here in 2021. I wasn't here in 2022. I wasn't here at the beginning of 2024. But these were the 941s that were missing. So I had to call the IRS. The IRS refused to give me information because I didn't have the authorization to do it. I finally called over and over again, and they felt sorry for me. So they told me what was missing from the IRS. I sent the information to the IRS, and I got a letter from the IRS not too long ago. And it said, after all that work that we had done, that we have a credit for $29,000 from all the work we had done in turning in the information that should have been turned in 2016, 19, 21, 22, and 24. So then we go to the CCMG grants. I went with the CCMG grants, and I was doing the information that you guys asked me to do. Come to find out, Dwayne didn't do his job. So I had to do Dwayne's job and get the CCMG grant closed, which I did. I closed that grant. Then I had customers that came in that owed over $1,000. Yes, I've cut off quite a few people. But in those same customers, I've had a whole lot of people come in and have caught up on their bills because I've helped them get their bills together. And we've all cheered and shouted with them because they got their bills together. So, as I say and stand here, I didn't appreciate when you guys said that I didn't do my job to get a raise for this year. I felt it was a slap in the face, and I felt like I didn't deserve it because I've done over and above what I was supposed to do as a in the clerk's office. I did more than some of the ones that were already sitting there because I had to do their job again. Then I went on, you have already talked about the CCFG grants and the hookup fees. You asked me about the hookup fees for electric and you asked me for water. Those are supposed to go under operating, and we will be transferring that money over to operating. There's also one other thing that's on the board that someone sent me, and if you don't mind, Amber, can you read it for it, because this is something that's going to be sent downstate. And I'm passing this out to each one of you. Can you read this to me? Did you want to read it? Can you read that?
I'm not comfortable unless somebody wants me to. Like, it's just an anonymous letter.
Oh.
So I'm really not comfortable just reading an anonymous letter.
Okay. Can you read that? Never mind. Okay. I'll just put it on the internet. Thank you.
I'm going to answer part of your statement. I did what Brian Nurnberg, who was the then president of the town council, asked me to do until a clerk treasurer could be found, which was get bills paid, accept utility payments, and get payroll done. I did what he asked me to do. He did not ask me to be clerk treasurer.
But you being a clerk treasurer before knew what the job was. And
I
without you
did
receiving-
not know the new computer program. That's the end of the conversation.
But you told me you did. You told me you knew how to do the checks. You told me you knew how to do the receipting and you had did it. You told me that.
I did the receipting as far as posting to a customer's account. Okay. All right. We have the second and third reading of 3 salary ordinances. I'm going to ask that we just do the second reading tonight. We have one more meeting yet this month, and we'll do the third reading when we have hopefully a full board. So, we have Can I lump these together? Do we have to do them
I
individually?
would do them individually.
Okay, hang on. I gotta find my third one. Okay, we've taken care of that too. Oh, yeah. Okay. Second reading of ordinance 2025-12, 2026 salary ordinance for town council members.
Can you repeat that?
Second reading of ordinance 2025-12 by title only, 2026 salary ordinance for town council members. You need a motion to adopt it on second reading.
I make a motion, we adopt it.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt the ordinance on second reading for the salaries for the town council members. All in favor? Aye. Unanimous. Second reading of ordinance number 2025-013, 2026 salary ordinance for the town clerk treasurer.
I'll make a motion for the second reading of the salary ordinance for town clerk / treasurer.
And what was that? I'm not gonna. It don't say specifically what
Yes, it
what
does.
she's asking for.
That doesn't say what she's asking for. It says what,
Well, I think that's law. So I'm not gonna vote on it.
and it needs 3 to carry, or does it need 2 to 1?
Well, you've got a first on the motion, you need a second on the motion.
I can second it,
You can second it.
but now what do we have to have? 2 to 1 to proceed with the third reading at the next meeting?
So if you're just doing second reading for it to pass, it'd have to be 2 to 1.
All in favor?
Aye.
Wait, are you seconding
I'm
it?
seconded.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Nay.
Okay. Second reading of ordinance number 2025-014, salary ordinance for the town employees.
I'll make a motion for the salary ordinance 2025-014 for the town employees.
You're seconding it?
Yeah, second.
It's been moved and seconded on the salary ordinance for the town employees, second reading by title only. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We'll have the third reading of those 3 ordinances at the meeting on December 29th, which we did confirm the regular meeting was set up for December 29th this year. We now have the ordinance, and this is going to be the first reading, establishing a non-reverting park donation fund, ordinance number 2025-015. Whereas the Kingsford Heights Park Board has recently recommended that the town council establish a non-reverting park donation fund to receive monies donated to the park board, whereas the town council desires to implement the recommendation of the park board and believes it to be in the best interest of the town and residents therein to establish a non-reverting park donation fund. Now therefore be it ordained by the Town Council of the Town of Kingsford Heights, Indiana as follows. The aforementioned whereas sections are incorporated herein as if fully set forth herein. There is hereby established a park donation fund. This fund shall be a restricted, non-reverting fund. For the purpose of this fund, shall be to receipt monies from donations to the park board and fundraisers hosted by the park board. Expenditures from said fund can only be used by the park board for the following purposes: purchases of materials and supplies, training and educational activities, community outreach initiatives, including but not limited to fundraisers, holiday events, dinners, youth adult activities, and sporting events. Purchases of food, drink, and other items for meetings, events, and celebrations. For capital improvement projects undertaken for town park property, including funds for design, implementation, and construction of capital improvement projects and the engagement of professionals for the same. Equipment, material, part, and labor for park improvement projects. Pay for other contractual services used for a specified event, activity, or facility. The funds may not be used for any other purposes than those stated herein, and such funds shall be administered by the town clerk treasurer. That is the first reading of ordinance number 2025-15.
I make a motion.
Motion to adopt on its first reading.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt the ordinance to establish a park donation fund. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Second and third reading at the next meeting, please. Does anybody on the council have any old business? Anybody on the council have any new business? Okay, I'm gonna reread what I announced at the last meeting, more or less. At the last town council meeting on November 24th, I stated that I was going to attempt to run a more efficient meeting. This means following Robert's Rules of Order as much as possible, which has not been done in the past. Attorney's report.
Oh, can I ask the question? What is new business? What does that entail?
Anything a voting member of the council or a board wants to bring up.
So that means that people in the audience can't,
They come in under public comment.
So for our attorney's report, I am still working on the ordinance to establish a payment plan for utilities. I wanted to have it done by this meeting, but it didn't get there. So I'm still working on that for you. And just to confirm, is the next meeting 2 weeks from today, or it's 3? So it was the meeting between Christmas and New Year's, right? Is it
That Monday,
28th?
yes.
Okay,
28th, 29th, whatever the,
okay. And that's all I have right now.
okay. Under old business, I skipped it. Baker Tilly contract. I know we don't have a full board. I know that at prior meeting, we said we wanted to stop the contract at the end of its expiration date. I haven't talked, well, I did talk to Joe about it, but he's not here tonight. I, myself, feel that we should have Amber draft a proposal to revise the terms of the contract and allow Baker Tilly to continue working and doing any work associated with the end of December, the closeout of the year, and the annual report, but not authorize them to do any work to do with the new year starting January 1. I was gonna ask the council how everybody felt about that plan before Amber goes to a lot of trouble to send an amendment into them on the contract. But that's what I was going to bring up under old
So why
business.
do you feel we won't need them in 2026 anymore?
That was what we said when we extended the last time for 6 months, and I think we need to stick by what we said. That's my opinion.
But if you don't have everything as it should be, to me, it seems like we're gonna still need them to help her get her stuff right,
Well,
to get the fiscal thing right.
that's why I said they should do the end of the year and the annual report. The end of the year will be balanced then, so that'll be 2 end of the years that they have balanced. But I did also say that was my opinion.
Well, yeah, you got a right to your opinion, and I got a right to mine,
You're right,
so.
and we're still friends.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, okay.
I ain't gonna fight you about it.
Okay, public comment.
I just have a question. So are you saying that the residents of Kingsford Heights can no longer ask to be placed on the agenda?
They come up under public comment.
Okay.
You can contact a board member if you have a specific question, but otherwise you come up under public comment.
Okay.
Is that how it works at the school board meetings too?
I'm not on the school board.
Okay,
Okay. I just know previously Dennis Francis was allowed to be put on the agenda. Lisa Turner was allowed to be put on the agenda.
that was before we made that announcement at the last meeting that we want to try to
I
run
don't think we
more
made it. I think
proper-
you made it.
I made it, you're right. A more proper agenda, a more proper meeting.
Okay. I had a question about the salary ordinance. I feel like a 2.5% increase for the town employees is low. And I wanted to know, as I was researching the salary ordinance, was there a meeting held or an executive session held to discuss the increases for the salaries? Or how did that come
Specific
about?
salaries, no. There was a budget workshop.
Okay, so who came up with the 2.5%?
We looked up cost of living.
Who is we?
The people are there.
So-
Baker Tilly agreed, Baker Tilly was at the meeting.
No.
We had the money, we had the social security letter.
No, and I don't think it's fair to judge their increase in their wages based upon a social security increase.
Okay, that,
I don't think that that's what occurred, and I'd like each town council member to tell me that they were involved in creating the increase, because I don't think it came from the town.
Well,
I think you did it yourself.
at this point.
And that's not appropriate.
Okay, at
And
this
it would
point-
make it illegal.
although this is supposed to be comments, not question and answers, but at this point,
Well, if you all could see
All
me
it-
privately.
all that we have done so far is adjusted ranges in the salary ordinance for the hourly employees. Nobody has been given a raise yet at all, period.
Okay.
We just have the ability to do that now.
Okay, I still think, and I'm not talking about anybody specific, I'm talking about town board, I'm talking about town workers as a whole. I'm not talking about, I don't want you to think I'm specifically talking about the town clerk, because I'm not. I'm talking about the cost of living, and a 2.5% increase for the town workers, I think is low. And I do not think it should have been compared to a social security increase. It should have been compared to a cost of living. Some type of study should have been done, and it was supposed to be a meeting. We voted for 5 separate people to be on this board, and they should have 5 separate voices, not one person making decisions and everyone else going along with it.
Is there any other public comment? Hearing none, it is 7 o'clock. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Unanimous.